Hello, everyone. We are so fortunate today. We have with us Darren Parry. He's the candidate for Congress in Utah's 1st District. He's also the immediate past chairman of the Shoshone Nation and still serves on the tribal council, but he's devoting full time now to his campaign for Congress. You don't want to miss this special episode of Plug Into Devin. Darren, welcome to the show.
Devin, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. It is an honor to have you on the show today. What do you want to talk about?
If you would have asked me a couple of months ago, it would have been different. It would have been climate change, public lands, what we can do to take care of Mother Earth, something that's important to me culturally, and me as a person that wakes up to smog sometimes in the summer. And so, but I think with what we're all experiencing with the pandemic and other things, my focus has changed to the people. And not to say it's never been about the people, but it really puts into light today how some of our communities are suffering because of some of the decisions that our government's made over the past years. And so making sure that we're taking care of everyone is a big priority for me today.
Excellent. Well, what are some of the initiatives, the specific initiatives that you're focused on for the people that you represent?
Well, you know, when it comes to people, and I played a small part in being able to provide the Navajo Nation with some PPE and other critical supplies over the last few weeks, and it's still ongoing. But what it's done is really brought into focus how some of our communities in rural Utah and other places lack. I mean, we're talking about people that don't have running water or electricity in 2020. And so some of my initiatives are to make sure that we have health care, and our health care coverage is for all Americans and not just those who can afford it. We have to have a safety net for those people, making sure that rural Utah gets internet. What that does, not only does it provide them an opportunity for education, job opportunities, but it gives them access to a doctor. They can teleconference with a doctor and have a diagnosis pretty much right then. And so not having the internet and things like that really plays into those marginalized communities and making them still marginalized. And so I'm laser focused on being able to make sure the least of these, our people, are taken care of and they're not left behind. And I think what the government has tried to do with the CARES Act and other things, they've done a great job in taking care of large business and some small business, but I think lost in the whole thing is our people and making sure they're taken care of. So that is a big priority for me.
And such a good and important priority. As you think about healthcare, clearly some of the challenges of the pandemic seem to be highlighting flaws in our healthcare system. How do you think about that?
Well, there's a lot of my colleagues that say, well, we need to have Medicare for all. I'm not sure I'm there yet as far as that goes, but I think in uncertain times that we live in today, we need to make sure that, look, we've thrown the playbook out as far as what we're doing as a government. We're spending money like, we print it every day. And so, especially in emergency situations like this, we need to make sure that all Americans, whether they have health insurance or not, can go to a doctor and we take care of that bill. And so this is not the time to play politics with people's lives and healthcare. And so there are certain times when you can throw the playbook out and say, no, this is the time that we make sure all Americans have adequate health care. If they need to go see a doctor, they can go see a doctor, and we're going to take care of it. And so, but as far as the bigger solution to our healthcare problems, I think we've President Obama, what he tried to do. I think that still needs to be tweaked a little bit. But I love Medicaid expansion. I've loved that we've been able to include people that have never been able to be included before. Look, I have 2 daughters that are single moms. They make just enough to not qualify for Medicaid. And so, but they don't make enough to live on their own. They certainly don't make enough to get a small apartment and to provide a living for their families. So wow. It hits home to me the fact that we need to do something better. And, that's why I'm in it. That's why I'm in it.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Darin, what do you think is your superpower?
Thank you. That's a great question. And I'll tell you, I said to somebody the other day, we live in the most divisive time of our lives politically. We're as divided as a country as ever, and mainly because of a president that has pushed us that way. People have dug in their heels on both sides. And I think my superpower, and the reason I'm running, and one of the first things I said out of the gate was, I'm tired of the partisan politics. I'm tired of the hate speech that we see today. We need somebody in Congress that can build bridges to understanding. Bring people together that haven't always agreed on a certain topic and make it work. So as a tribal leader over the last few years, I have been blessed to meet with senators, congressmen, state and local officials a lot. And these are people, especially in this state, Republicans, who don't really see eye to eye with Native Americans and sovereign communities, and they haven't done a great job in taking care of those marginalized groups. And so I have been able to forge coalitions, working together with other groups and bring people together for the common good. And that's my number one strength. America's problems today are not a Republican problem or a Democrat problem. It's an American problem for all of us to solve. And so who can we send to Washington, D.C. that can bring people together and work together for the common good? And that's what I bring. I bring the bridge building. I bring the ability to make sure all groups are heard and that all opinions are respected. And then how can all of us work together to make things better? And that's my superpower.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Darin, how can people find out more about your campaign?
Oh, thank you. It's you can get on my website, darinforutah.com. That's DARRENFOR Utah.com. And I have a lot of the things that I believe in. I have Darren Parry for Congress on Facebook. I post a lot on social media, Twitter and Instagram. And I just try to get the word out to everybody that if you want to know more, look me up, email me. My email address is PARRY4Congress@gmail.com. And send me a message. I'll give you my phone number. We can talk and let's figure it out together because I want to hear from people.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Darin, thank you so much for being with us today. And we wish you every success in your efforts to help the people of the 1st District.
Hey, thank you for having me.
All righty. Let's be bold together.
Okay, absolutely.
I'm Devin Thorpe. For the last 8 years, I've been working full-time to eradicate extreme poverty, improve global health, and fight climate change. I've concluded that the best way for me to continue my work is to run for Congress to represent the people of Utah's 3rd District. In Utah, we have common shared values. Those things unite us. I believe passionately in our ability to come together, and I believe that working together, we can solve Utah's problems. I'm Devin Thorpe. I'm a Democrat. I'm running to represent the people of Utah's 3rd District.
I'm Devin Thorpe, a candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.